Hello and a very good day everyone. So today we will learn on Power Query. As shown in this particular file, we do have a data. On this particular table, there's an appointment table which have the patient name, the doctor's name, and also the respective days. And this shows that how many times the patient attended and how many appointments has given on the particular table. So for example, here we have a patient Joe and Dr. Aiden. So this particular patient has one appointment on Monday, one appointment on Thursday, and 2 appointments on Saturday. So basically what I want to do is from this particular table, I want to transform the table into this format. So instead of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all appearing in a header or columns, I want it to appear in one column. But there is a catch. As you can see over here, if you look carefully, Joe and Hayden has 2 appointments on Saturday. So I want the 2 times the data to be appeared. For example, patient Helly and Dr. Liz has 3 appointments on Wednesday. So I want the data to appear for 3 times for this case. So how I want to transform this data into this format and follow the number of appointments. So how to do it? So let's get started. So I'll go to this particular tab. So first thing is I'll put my cursor over here and I'll press Ctrl A. So when you press Ctrl A, the keyboard shortcut, it will highlight the entire table. Then you go to data, you go to from table/range. Once you click over here, you will notice that a small box will appear. So what you need to do is you just press OK. So when you press OK, you will notice that you will be navigated to Power Query Editor. As shown over here, we have been navigated to Power Query Editor. Then what's the next step is, I want all the months or the days to appear in a single column. So I will select these 2 columns, right click, and I will go to unpivot other columns. Or you can actually go to transform and you can also click it over here as well, unpivot other columns. So either way it works. So I'm going to press right click and unpivot other columns. So once I click like this, you will notice right now we have already unpivoted the columns. So all the days has now appeared in one column. However, the values column is over here. But if you look carefully, I want this Saturday and this particular list to appear twice. I want this list to appear 3 times. So how I do it? So this is where we need to use the custom column and we need to use a formula in the mQuery. So go to add column and then I go to custom column and I will use the formula called List.Repeat because I want to repeat. So what I'll do is I'm going to click here List.Repeat. Okay, so this is the measure over here. So I'm going to click this, open bracket, and I put open special bracket. So I want to repeat what? I want to repeat the patient name, doctor name, and attribute. So we have 2 arguments. One is the list and also the count as number. So basically, I want to appear the patient name. And then I also want to appear the doctor name. And also I want to appear the attribute, which is Monday, Thursday. And I close the special bracket. So once I close the special bracket, I press comma. And then I want to count as what number? I want the value to count. So I'm going to put the value over here, go to insert, and I close bracket. So there is no syntax error and I'll press OK. So once I press OK, so now we do have this list. So what I need to do is I need to expand the list. When I click here, I want to expand into new rows. So I click it over here. So now you'll notice that all the data now has appeared in a rows format, like Joe Aiden Monday, Joe Aiden Thursday, Joe Aiden Saturday, Joe Aiden Saturday. But however, all these are appeared in one column. So now what I want to do is I want to pivot it. So what I need to do is I'll remove the other columns first. So I'll remove other columns. So now we have only this particular single column. So how to actually transpose this or transform this? Well, there is a step. What we can do is we can click index column. So this is the index column to show the measurement. So right now if you see, we have 3 types of data: the patient name, the doctor name, and the day. The patient name, the doctor name, and the day. So what I want to do is I'll just click this column. I go to standard and divide integer. So what's the difference between divide and divide integer? When I click divide, it will show the answers in decimal format. But if in divide integer, there will be no decimal. In fact, it will be in an integer format, whole number without decimal. So I'm going to click this and a box will appear. So they will ask me what number I want to divide. I want to divide by 3. So why 3? Because we have 3 types of data: patient name, doctor name and the days. So I'm going to press OK, and then you will notice this is the data, and I'm going to click the index again. So I'll go to transform this time, not add column but transform, and then I'll go to standard. I click modulo. So I want the remainder as well. So I'm going to click this, and I want to put remainder as 3. So right now we'll have 012, 012 as a pattern. So purpose of doing this is to form a pattern so that we can pivot the column. So click pivot column, and once I click pivot column, so I want to pivot based on the custom, but I don't press OK yet. I need to go to advanced option and click the don't aggregate, because when you click count all, it will count the data. But what I want to do is I want to don't aggregate, and I press OK. So just like that, we have already transformed the data. So I can just click this and delete all this. So this one, I'll rename this as patient. Over here, I'll just rename this as doctor, and this is the days. And I want to select all this column. So what I want to put is I want to make it into a text format. So all this is the text, and then I go to home and close and load. So when you press close and load, automatically it will load as a table format in a new sheet. But what I will do is I will click as close and load to. Okay, why close and load to? Because I want to do in an existing worksheet. Click it over here, table, and I put it over here, and I press OK. So just like that, we have actually produced data into this particular format. So now if just say I add a new list, for example, I add a patient name Kalai, and the doctor, I just put here Dr. Arif. And if just say I put here the Tuesday, I put 2 appointments, and Thursday, I put 3 appointments. So if just say I added a new data over here, when I press right click and I refresh, you will notice that a data here will be automatically reflected. It will be updated automatically. So if just say I put here 5, I put here 5, I remove this, and I put here 1. So if you notice, I have made some changes. So when I press right click and refresh, you will notice the data will be reflected automatically. So this is what Power Query can do. Power Query can transform a data from a messy format to a desired outcome.